We all love motivation. That spark, that jolt, that feeling that makes you believe, today I'll change my life. But what happens tomorrow when the spark dies? When you wake up tired, empty, uninspired, and the world feels heavier? That's when most people stop. Not because they're weak, but because they were chasing a feeling, not a commitment. As the great runner Jim Ryan said, motivation gets you started, habit keeps you going. The truth is, motivation is temporary fuel. Consistency, that's the engine. Your brain loves motivation because it releases dopamine, that pleasure chemical that says, yes, this feels good. But the human brain is built to adapt. That excitement fades quickly. That's why even after watching an inspiring video, a week later you're back at zero. True success comes when you train your brain to act, even without the emotional high. This isn't a new idea. Over 2,000 years ago, Aristotle taught us, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Think about Kobe Bryant. He didn't rely on motivation, he relied on consistency. He famously said, I wasn't the most talented, but I outworked everyone. He trained at 4 a.m. while others slept. He practiced when he didn't feel like it. Why? Because greatness isn't built on excitement. It's built on repetition. The ones who win are the ones who train when no one's watching. Because discipline outlives emotion. The trap most of us fall into is an addiction to inspiration. We keep searching for the next quote, the next speaker, the next push. But here's the irony. Motivation feels like progress, but it's not. It's emotional sugar. It gives you the illusion of growth without the grind. An old saying, lived by millions, puts it perfectly. You will never always be motivated, so you must learn to be disciplined. If you only work when you feel like it, you'll never achieve anything that matters. So what's the science behind this? Consistency literally rewires your brain. Every time you repeat an action, your brain builds stronger neural pathways. That's how habits are born. That's how your identity is formed. You stop trying to be the person who goes to the gym. You simply are that person. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about showing up over and over until the act becomes automatic. Consider the Steve Jobs paradox. He wasn't always motivated. He was obsessed, and that obsession turned into relentless consistency. He once said, I am convinced that about half of what separates the successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. Motivation didn't make the iPhone. Consistency did. Through every failure, every late night, every rejection, he kept showing up, because the consistent person wins the war that the motivated person never finishes. Here's a hard truth. Most people quit not because it's difficult, but because it's boring. Growth isn't always glamorous. The gym gets repetitive. The business feels slow. The dream looks far away. But those who learn to love the boredom of progress, they become unstoppable. Bruce Lee said it best. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. Consistency isn't exciting. It's quiet. It's lonely. But that's where the real transformation happens. Muhammad Ali understood this to his core. He famously said, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. That's the essence of consistency, doing it even when you hate it. Ali's motivation didn't make him a legend. His consistency did. His will to push when his body screamed to stop. Because legends aren't built in moments of inspiration. They're built in moments of resistance. There will be days when your mind screams, enough. When nothing works. When results don't come. That's when consistency matters most. That's the test. As Robert Collier noted, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. The world doesn't reward the most excited. It rewards the most consistent. Motivation fades, feelings change, but consistency rewrites destiny. You don't have to move fast. You just have to move, every single day, brick by brick, step by step. You'll look up one day and realize the small things you did in silence built a life that roars. The author Octavia Butler gave this advice. First, forget inspiration. Habit is more dependable. Habit will sustain you whether you're inspired or not. So stop waiting to feel ready. Start moving. Because in the war between motivation and consistency always wins.